because it is not um, a part of the articles of association when you first register it. So no need to change that.
Which or who, which body or which administrative organ or which company issue such certificate?
Um, that I'm not sure about. Maybe some internal department of the company, but that's all I know.
Mm, It's it's a little bit strange system actually because all countries require registration. Even in partnership in Germany, if you're changing the membership, entering and excluding someone, so you must register such changes. Mm. LLC also requires, but in your country is a little bit different. Even US, you change articles of organization if you sell a membership, I mean share. Mm. Yeah, in my country also we have like uh let's do like same with Russia because we're copying and the Russian system. The problem is like we sell share and then we must issue the certificate that you just told. And but along with that, we must register such changes in commercial register or administrative body register, etc. It doesn't matter. So we must do like internal registration by issuing certificate by company, and we must do public registration. So publicly, we must confirm that that member sold and we have new member. So that part is most important, how to make a change. So the first way is the members resolution to amend charter document, first one. The second one, your executive body, like director, he goes to the commercial register and changing by himself. So we have two options to conduct such procedure. So we have problem with the first one. So you sold share and members do not change charter document. So and that what that new member should do, must do, is the most problematic situation in my country that if you even bought a share, you cannot be a member without consent of other members to amend charter document because without registration you're not a member in my country. So we have a little bit problematic situation. So Germany is pretty much good one, good option they provided. So if you sold bought share, you just submit documents to the company, and director must change the register by himself. They don't require shareholders' decision. So, so we will talk more about it when we talk about shares, but I have special topic on it. But today, so a little bit like what to change actually and what we must register. So German's law on LLC says that first one, you must change everything written in articles of association and and basically they pointing out only increased share capital and decrease. Do you guys have a question about how to register shares, selling, and etc.? If you have a question, please ask. Don't hesitate. You can chat me. You can chat on our Zoom, Facebook. It's a pleasure to answer.
What does it mean 50% of active shares? What does active share means?
Ah, I see. Mm. I think my translation was not good about active shares. Okay, I'll talk step by step about it. And we have increased share capital, right? So what when we can conduct increased share capital when we have uh, when we fully paid share capital. So, for example, you declared your share capital like 50,000 US dollars, and after that, you decided to, after running company, after like expiring 1 year, 2 year, you decided to increase share capital. You can do that. First one, you must fully pay it first share capital, and then you can increase share capital after payment of increased share capital. So if you declared like in addition 20,000, you must do that. You can register such increase after fully paid shares. So I think this one is the same with your country. Anyway, all systems have the same problem, and the difference might be with the term. For example, some countries allowing not to register changes. I think, sorry, some countries allowing register amendments without full payment. This one is pretty much same. Mhm. Ah, I see. My translation was a little bit wrong. I think maybe. Mhm. Like, um, so if you have all applications of additional contributions should be recorded, must be recorded by notary. And if you have a contribution in kind, you need to sign contract. Is a little bit interesting part. What about monetary contribution, right? So in German LLC, they don't have a such requirement. So you just write you just write application that will be enough for you to change increase share capital. So it's a little bit different. This one. Give me just 1 minute. I wanna check one part. Ah, yes, sorry. My just translation maybe was confused. Uh, when I translated the term, the definition, I have it mentioned like um, I just wanted to confirm this one. Effective shares. This one. What it means. So, in your country, before that, I want to ask you, or you can research that we have contribution in kind or in money, right? So monetary. So if in case of monetary and contribution in kind, what do you sign in your country? Do you sign application or you need plus to application you sign contract? So many countries like my country and like Russia, they require you to sign application first and then you must sign contract. So in German one, contract really needed in case of contribution in kind. This one is kind of compulsory system. So you must research about your countries. How about you? How do you proceed is increase share capital? For example, in Russia is funny one is like, for example, you declare to let's let's talk about I will how why we need like share capital increase. We need this one when we want to invest more money in our company. For example, in Russia, if you declared like extra 20 30,000 US dollar, you write an application, I obliged to or I owe to contribute like extra 20,000 US dollar to share capital within like 6 months. Form of contribution is money. So if you took obligation, you will be punished, not punished, like you will have a material obligation before company in case if you fail to contribute additional contribution. So a little bit complicated one. For example, in my country, we don't have any penalty of or responsibilities if we fail to make a additional contribution. So this one is a little bit maybe different. So what about you guys? Please research when you have a top time. What the consequences if you fail to increase your share capital? Last one, what you can see on a screen, it's new article they didn't have before. So it's kind of depends on loyalty and whether you can trust your director. So since 5 years of registration, if you have such provisions in charter document, director can issue shares and sell them, but not more than 50% of available all shares what you have. Uh, when I say available or effective shares, it means uh, they're not like pending any judgment, any inheritance issues, etc. So available to sell or available to buy. So like effective mentioned on the screen, all shares which can be sold immediately without any judgment and any notary approval. Something like this. I think you don't have such rules. We don't have in my country, and Russia don't have. US can allows it, but it depends on agreement. So in US and UK, they're pretty much uh, like uh, they based more on a contract. So most important what you write. So basically they can allow. But in case of Germany, so imperative norms are stronger than contract norms, contractual norms. That's why we must follow with what written in a law. Do you guys have a questions? My explanation was enough.
Yes.
I'm glad to hear. So let's move to next. And by the way, you must like research your own legal system on the topics what I have in this course because I will submit you this week um, topics of PPT that you must prepare. So we have like midterm exam, which means you will have PPT and you have final exam, right? So final exam, I will tell the topic in advance anyway. So you must read what Vietnamese law and some sort of German law. So you will, for final exam, you will have only German and Vietnamese law. But about midterm, it will be a little bit different. So please focus on your law and start reading because some groups will have like how to sell shares and comparative PPT. Someone gonna have the solution of companies. Someone have a registration. Someone gonna have amendment. Someone have an increased share capital. So this means that you must know and study your own system. Like when you need registration and when you do not like need registration, all points should be clear on PPT. Because I have I sometimes I can I can check your PPT. I will ask Tony whether you were correct or not on PPT. Okay, let's continue. So the next one of the options is if your company increase share capital by assets. So in on the topic share capital, we will talk more about it, how to do that. But today, this option is available. I think the same with your country. You have this, but German law requires a little bit complicated regulation procedures. First one, annual balance sheet has been audited. So we must check first. Balance sheet, and then such sheet must be approved, and the reference date must be 8 months prior to the filing. So what it means, like company cannot change articles of association without checking by auditor. That was forced by the nature of German law regarding protection of creditors' rights, because in continental, I mean European law, they focusing a lot on creditor rights and interest. So in any case of increasing in share capital and decreasing, government asking company to protect creditor by such ways, because LLC is limited liability anyway. So investors as shareholders has a less responsibility comparing to partnership. In case of partnership, you don't need any kind of share capital either, because you fully responsible even after termination of partnership. I mean general partnership and limited partnership. In case of LLC, because of limited liability, government indicating and pointing out, checking, and more creditors' rights protection provisions. However, such annual balance sheet, will not be checked by the court. Most important that you have been audited. So auditor is responsible on the content. If you have a question, please ask. The next one, decrease share capital. So this part, a little bit complicated. You can read. So here, the creditor's rights is more important, as you can see. So decrease share capital is pretty much difficult procedure in Germany. So first one, you must do publication in Gazette. I mean the newspaper, you can call it. So special newspapers in Germany where you're required to publish. And before, actually, in Germany, you had to do that 3 times. But now the rules changed, so you just need to do it one time. And creditors, and you must inform your creditors about decreased share capital. And if creditors claim, if they disagree. However, application about changing articles of association can be submitted only after 1 year after, since your publication. So what about your country? Do you know how what kind of rules you have? You know that,
Um,
yeah,
for LLCs, we don't have these kinds of requirement. Um, yeah, just normal decrease procedure. There's no mentioning of informing the creditors or obligation to publish on the news. No, none
you
of that.
don't have even
No, we don't. No, you don't
informing
have that. No,
informing
no. If
creditors.
if you no, if you check the law on enterprise, and you will not see that obligation for any company from LLC partnership to even JSC. You don't see that.
Your LLC is unlimited company.
No, our LLC is limited, like the name suggests.
Yeah, pretty much
You don't have to
strange.
inform.
You can do research, master or PhD on this topic. You have a
Even your previous slide, increase share capital by the asset of company. It is not allowed uh, in Vietnam at this point. It was allowed when the previous law on enterprise was still enforced, but with the new law on enterprise, it does not allow increase of the share capital by asset of the company.
this part is interesting. Why impossible?
Some explanation, they say that it's difficult to determine the the, the shares of each person or something, but basically they once allowed it, but now they don't.
Yeah, you can have a master thesis or PhD. Is a good topic actually. You will have a plenty of materials, a lot of publications, research. Is a good one if you wanna do teaching stuff and researcher. Is good topic for you guys. You can take it uh, even for your graduation report. I think is the best choice for you. You know, reason why decrease share capital. Decrease share capital is like obvious system because if you take your portion from share capital, it means the share capital must decrease. So I have like we have 100 shares and one guy taking withdrawing 20 shares. So what it's obvious that share must be decreased. Share capital must be decreased. And in as long as European law focusing on creditors' right, so the setting forth strict rules on creditor protection.